and do the worst possible thing we could do, which is chart Dag.
Wrong.
I'm gonna do it anyway. All right, here we go. Dag. I got this one drawn up, I think. Yep, sure do. All right, so here's Dag on the daily. So first things first, we did indeed get stuck right under that level I told you we were going to get stuck at, right around 4 cents. She's come up and threw a wick to 0.038. Not quite 4 cents, but close, yeah? Exactly. So unfortunately, no matter how hard you hope and pray and wish, it doesn't change anything. No matter how hard the influencers push you to something, it doesn't change anything. If you think you bought something that's special, well, I have ice for you for sale in Alaska as well, if you guys are interested. All right. There's an awful lot of it up there. You could probably find some of it on your own, but, you know. I also have beachfront property in Nebraska, in case you're wondering. I can hook you up, right?
Wrong.
I do not have beachfront property in Alaska, and I'm not selling ice. I'm sorry, beachfront property in Nebraska, and I'm not selling ice in Alaska. Come on, folks. But what I do see here is an attempt at an 821 cross and a failure and a potential back test of a failed trend. If you guys have been watching this, I've shown this a lot here, but there's your previous uptrend, right? She was hanging on. If I flip it to linear mode, you could argue that it needs to be redrawn. Problem, it would be sitting right on it if it's linear mode, and I need to see a bounce. Prove it by bouncing. That bounce would get back over the 821 EMA and potentially challenge that 50 and 100 moving average that are kind of holding the price down and pinning it, keeping it from moving. The best thing about the TA on this is, while everyone hates on the TA and says it doesn't work, when your influencer that you like shares the TA, you love it, right? Because they put it out to make it seem bullish all the time. Problem is, when I tell you the truth and be honest with you, it hurts a little bit on the inside. And while that sucks, it's the truth. You guys got to learn to handle the truth, okay? I don't know what else to tell you. You got to learn to take it. It's kind of part of the game. You're never going to grow up at investing in general until you understand it's part of the game to lose. It's part of the game to get your teeth kicked in. It's part of the game to understand that you got to walk away sometimes when the cards aren't good. Some of you guys have a lot of learning to do, and I understand it. I'm not mad at you because I went through the same thing. I tried to warn you, but didn't want to hear me. And you're probably still not going to hear me after this, but it doesn't mean I didn't try. Weekly, you're pinned under everything right here. 200 is bearing down. The farther this comes down, the harder it is going to be to get through it. And the lower the price cap becomes too, because the price is kind of pinned down by resistance. Remember, these moving averages are rolling support and resistance. Ichimoku cloud is all negative, all red. You still got bearish divergence, a bearish convergence on the weekly. On the daily here, let's look. So let's scroll out a bit here. So if you notice right here on the RSI, that is a rising strength and a flat or falling price. So that is bullish divergence on the daily. All right. You've got a rising strength and a flat or lower price. That's bullish divergence. That's buyers building up. They just haven't got over the hump yet. Does that make sense to you? Okay. And MACD, you'd kind of be the same way here. Similar story. You're falling and failing price, but the volume has started to turn green, and you have started to trend back toward the trend line. Now, what you need here is a push to get you out of the mud. And if you can get out of the mud, you can likely turn the corner here. Same targets remain. It's going to be around 3.5 to 4 cent, and we're getting capped off about 4.5 to 5 cent on anything too violent here. Unfortunately, it's still stuck in the mud. And it's going to get stuck in the mud until it breaks out and moves off a little bit. You get a move similar to what you got back here when it finally starts to get out of the muck. It'll look a lot better, and it won't hurt as much to be dealing with what you're dealing with. I get it. It's pretty bearish otherwise, so you're going to need to wait a little bit.